everyone from Suzette and from Clemmy. So today is the 5th Sunday after Trinity. That's going very fast, isn't it? Very fast. So this is our last recorded session. Next week, as you will, you probably know already, but we're going to try and do a kind of normal-ish service from church. So more about that later. Yeah, thank you very much for your photos from last week with your prayers. Do you remember the hand prayers? They were great, some good ideas there. And it gave us a little insight as to what goes on between brothers and sisters, or sisters and sisters as well. Right, so next week, as we've said, we will see you in church, hopefully, and we're very much looking forward to seeing how much your hair has grown and how much you've grown since we last saw you properly. But let's get ready for worship this week. So what will we say? You have got flour on your face already, but you'll see why in a minute. So we'll say, in my
head
and in
my heart and all around me, Jesus is here.
It's getting more theatrical each week, isn't it? That's very good.
Jazz hands.
Right, so in anticipation of being very clever, what's in the box?
It's sparkling.
Mush. Right, what's in the box today?
I like it. I like
What's in the box? Does it, hang on, does it rattle? Does it?
Oh, that's rattling.
It's quite heavy. Quite a lot of stuff in there, I think, today. Should we have a look?
Oh,
What's
I
in
know
there
what these
today?
are.
Something that you must have seen quite a bit of. Ooh,
They're pottery tools.
lots of tools for pottery, aren't there?
It's like a pottery slicer
Yeah.
and some tools for carving and making patterns.
Very good. I wonder why they're in there today.
I don't know.
In fact, they link in very nicely with our Bible reading this morning, which is taken from Jeremiah. It's a good name, that Jeremiah. In fact, we've got a Sunday school child called Jeremiah. And Jeremiah is the name of a prophet who lived about 600 years before Jesus. And a prophet is someone who is seen to speak the message of God. So someone who sort of foretells what's going to happen. So our reading today is at the potter's house. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Go down to the potter's house, and there I will give you my message. So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the wheel. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands, so the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as it seemed best to him. Then the word of the Lord came to me. He said, Can I not do with you, Israel, as this potter does, declares the Lord? Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel. If at any time I announce that a nation or kingdom is to be uprooted, torn down, or destroyed, and if that nation I warned repents of its evil, then I will relent and not inflict on it the disaster I had planned. And if at another time I renounce that a nation or kingdom is to be built up and planted, and if it does evil in my sight and does not obey me, then I will reconsider the good I had intended to do for it. Now, therefore, say to the people of Judah and to those living in Jerusalem, this is what the Lord says. Look, I am preparing a disaster for you and devising a plan against you. So turn away from your evil ways, each one of you, and reform your ways and your actions. But they will reply, it's no use. We will continue with our own plans. We will all follow the stubbornness of our evil hearts. That feels like quite a dramatic reading, doesn't it?
Very dramatic reading.
But it sort of tells us that God really has ultimate control.
Yeah.
And so we would imagine a potter at the potter's wheel squishing the clay and getting the clay to do what the potter wants. So that's what God is saying that he can do with us. And he's trying to encourage us to turn away from bad things and to lead a life that is useful and it's good. So we're not born in one way completely fixed. Actually, we can be moulded and we can mould ourselves to try and recognise our faults and do a little better. Try and improve ourselves. Try and change for the better.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a bit of fun.
Yay!
If we can remember. how to do this. So we're not going to use proper clay. We're going to try and make clay for ourselves, well, which turns into proper clay.
I've got flour on me.
So hopefully you will all be able to do this at home, and we would love to see what you end up
Yeah.
making, as long as it's not a mess. If it's a mess, it's not our fault. So we have taken just a little plastic bowl, and we have got, these are American measures, but you can sort of adapt them a bit. We have got one cup of flour. 1 cup of flour. Apologies to all our American viewers. And we've got half a cup of salt.
American viewers?
We may have American viewers, you never know.
Some salt, did you say?
Some salt. Oh, apologies to our French viewers as well. Now, can you, with your hand, before you put the water in, just give it a good old mix up? So we want to get the salt and the flour really well mixed together. And I can taste the salt already because it's going everywhere. So we've got the salt and the flour thoroughly mixed, you can see in there. And now we've got another half cup of water. And this is going to go in and make it a little bit sticky. Nice.
Like making bread or something.
It is. Now you could and probably should use a wooden spoon to mix it.
I'll use my
But Clemmie's going to use her hands.
I don't mind any
And while she's mixing that, I've dug out some old watercolours, but you can use acrylic colours, you can use food colouring. If you intend putting it anywhere near your mouth, probably food colouring is the best option. But since we're not going to put it near our mouths, we can... Right, in fact, we've got acrylic, we've got a mixture of acrylic and watercolour. What colour would you like?
Ooh, I do like a bit of yellow.
A bit of yellow? Good,
Yeah.
good. Right, so that's oil. We might leave the oil. We've got another... Perhaps you might like another colour, Clement.
Okay, blue.
Blue. Oh, that's oil too. Oh, acrylic, that's good. Right, so we can give it a splodge. Oh, look, beautiful. That will come out. I don't think we want too much, do we?
Okay, keep going.
Do you think?
Yeah.
In fact, we have put a fair old splodge on that.
Ah.
And we're going to mix it
I
together.
don't know well that's going to work. It's going
Okay.
to go on my hands.
That's all right. You can wash it off. So with that, eventually, when it's all put together and squished together, it's working. I think you have to knead it for quite a long time to get the colour really evenly distributed. Or you can play around and you can put more colours in as well if you want to.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a dough, isn't it? And then you can do whatever you like with it. And if you've got any little tools, or like a wooden spoon or something that you can make little shapes in it, you can do all sorts of things, can't you?
Sculpt it.
And you see a bit like in the book of Jeremiah, Clemmie is the potter and she's moulding it exactly how she wants it. I'm not sure it's entirely how you wanted it, but you kind of get the drift.
It feels really nice though.
And it's fun. Yeah, you can do all sorts of things with that. It's worth making sure you've got a clean surface before you do it, because otherwise you get little bits stuck in it. But anyway. So, right. So we've had a little bit of fun. Now we need to remember whose birthday it is this week. You know, we've got a few birthdays this week, actually.
Oh, I like that.
So today, happy birthday, is Leo, who is 3. Leo, who's got a baby sister now, Iris. We have, tomorrow we'll have Ada, who will be 5. That's a nice way to finish your reception year, isn't it? Have your birthday. And then we've got 2 on the same day. We have Wild Eve, who will be 10. Happy birthday, double digits. And we've got Fred, who's 4. Can you believe it? Freddie is 4. So, shall we sing for them?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
so we say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leo, Ada, Wild Eve and Fred. Happy birthday to you. Oh, have lovely days, all of you. Do you want to show your clay as it looks now?
It's a bit
It's
kinda
mottled.
gross.
It's mottled. Well, it's not gross. I think it's quite nice. But actually, it's quite fun. Also, if you're a bit stressed, it's really a bit like a stress ball, isn't it? Give it a real.
I like it.
Right. So we're going to then close our eyes and put our hands together, and we're going to say our prayer, and we will say, as we finish Sunday school, we finish with this prayer. Help us to remember all we've learned each day to love and share. The stories and the games we've played and the clay we've made and drawings we make at home remind us Jesus is our friend. We're never on our own. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So we're really, really looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible next Sunday in the flesh. But in the meantime, if you want to take photos of your clay and anything you make your clay into, we would like to see that as well. And keep us posted with all your news. But otherwise, have a lovely week. Have a lovely birthday, all of you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.